creepy, and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Y'all see this young lady right here? Right here.
Yep.
She will now live the rest of her life as a paraplegic because of her decision to join a trend that was first started by Nicki Minaj. Now, we're going to take Nicki out of this story. She has nothing to do with this, okay?
Yeah.
She didn't tell these folks to go out there and to stand on containers or whatever the hell that is right there and to risk their mobility. But sure enough, here we are. The year of our Lord 2025, we're still doing this. Lives have been lost from these damn challenges. I don't understand for the life of me why you would see somebody do something, lose their life, and think to yourself that you're going to do something in the same measure. I feel bad for this young lady. I would not wish that on anybody. And for those who don't have the ability to use some, if not all of their limbs, I can only imagine how y'all would feel seeing somebody like this. A damn challenge? Don't do it. Just don't do it. That's my message. Don't. It's not worth it. Not for the gram, not for the TikTok, not for your damn Grammy. Nobody. Don't do it.
Well, I heard she fractured her spine at T9. Hey, but I'm not an expert. I'm going to shout out to my friend, Dr. T. Is she going to be okay? By the way, you can check his website at drtonycairo.com. No. Well, once again, nothing happened to her. Her account is still active and she posts almost every day.
Society is just sinners judging other sinners for sinning differently. I heard this the other day and I thought, wow, we shame what we don't understand. We point fingers at other people copying mechanisms while hiding our own in prettier packaging. We celebrate acceptable pain and cancel what makes us uncomfortable. We drink wine every night, but judge others who smoke to calm their nerves. We lie to keep the peace, but flint when someone speaks the truth too directly. We betray ourselves quietly, but feel unease around someone chasing healing out loud. None of us are spotless. We just got good at polishing our public image. So here's a reminder. Let's stop holding people to standards we don't always meet in private. Let's stop confusing comfort with character. And let's stop pretending we've never silenced our truth just to fit in. Grace isn't weakness. It's knowing that we all mess up just in different ways. Because in the end, it's not about being better than others. It's about growing into the kind of person who doesn't need to tear others down to feel worthy.
He who is free of sin cast the first stone. Who said that? Let me know in the comment if you know.
In Genesis, Satan was a serpent. In Revelation, he was a dragon. Somebody been feeding the serpent. Scripture says that man was made from the dust of the earth.
Right.
on day 6.
Yeah, Genesis. Yeah.
One of the curses that God gave to the serpent after the temptation and after what you feed. It's like in the physical body. If we just spend all day and night eating these wings, we're not going to want to get up, move around, and we feed ourselves with so much junk spiritually. There's no desire to pray. There's no desire to get in the
You know, the moment he said somebody's been feeding the serpent, I was locked in. Dude almost started a galactic war.
Most unhealthiest foods in the world. Deep fried foods. Packaged snacks.
Oh, yeah.
Sugary beverage. Instant
Oh,
noodles.
man. I'm guilty.
Ice cream.
Oh, no.
Fast food burgers.
Jeez.
Candies.
Wow.
Microwave popcorn.
Okay. I can relate.
Sports drink.
Ooh.
White bread.
Ah.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Vinegar veggies.
Okay.
Frozen meals.
Now you're pushing it, man.
Breakfast cereals. Canned soup and veggies. Artificial sweeteners. Alcohol. Bottled juice.
What? So basically everything. Hey, but I need an explanation about the vinegar veggies, please. If you know, please drop a comment. Wait, is that good or bad?
I know I can't be the only one to find this to be very bizarre. Read what that says right there. And honestly, what does this mean right here? What exactly does this mean? Seriously, can
50
anybody
states.
explain to
Want
me what this
Israel.
means? Because I think I have a pretty good idea what this means. And I know I'm not the only one that can see things for what they really are. Oh yeah, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. All I'm doing is asking a question, and all I'm doing is sharing photos. That's all that I am doing. Photos that you can find for yourself. Because again, can you all really tell me what this means? Because I think I know exactly what this means. I think I know exactly what this means.
Biblical prophecy being fulfilled. Time is ticking, folks.
Listen what he said before someone tries to silence him.
If you take off your bra and your boobs drop so low they're practically shaking hands with your waist, take magnesium citrate. If your vagina smells like a sewer,
Oh my
take
goodness.
magnesium orotate. If your belly is bigger than a 7-month pregnant woman's, take magnesium carbonate. The best magnesium to use for sleep is magnesium glycinate. If you're constantly bloated, you need magnesium carbonate. If you have painful indigestion, you need magnesium oxide. If you have muscle cramps, you need magnesium taurate. If you feel tired all the time, you need magnesium malate. Magnesium is responsible for over 400 functions in our body, but more than half the population has low levels, and it doesn't even show up on standard blood tests. Now here's the problem. Buying all of these separately gets expensive, and worse, you'd need to measure and take them all every single day. That's exactly why I recommend this powerful solution to my patients. It's called Magnesium Complex, and it combines 12 different forms of magnesium, including these all in one formula. In the right amounts, it has no sugar and no gluten. Just one capsule a day, and it does all the work for you. You'll sleep better, wake up with more energy, feel less stressed, relax your muscles, prevent cramps, improve gut health, and enjoy greater mental clarity throughout the day. But be careful though. Not every cheap store brand magnesium is worth your time. This complex has 12 absorbable forms, 0 fillers, 0 junk. I've already recommended it to all my patients, and they always come back 2 weeks later to thank me. The only issue, every time I talk about this openly, it sells out fast. I'll ask my team to drop an orange button in the lower left corner of the screen. If you still see an orange shop icon, that means it's still in stock. This won't last.
In spite that he's selling something, he's telling the truth. We are magnesium deficient. Oh, by the way, I'm taking this. Glycinate.
This is interesting. Watch this.
I don't know if you know this, but in the Bible it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. But then day 41 came and the rain stopped. Moses committed murder and then hid in the desert for 40 years. Year 41 came and God called him to rescue Israel. Moses went up to the mountains for 40 days. On day 41, he received the 10 Commandments. The Israelites wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. Year 41, they walked into the Promised Land. Goliath taunted Israel for 40 days. Day 41 came, and David defeated him. Jonah preached a message of repentance to Nineveh for 40 days. On day 41, God stopped his plan to destroy them. Jesus fasted and was tempted for 40 days. Day 41, and the devil fled. After his resurrection, Jesus appeared to his disciples for 40 days. On day 41, he ascended into heaven. So what's the takeaway of all of this? The rain will stop. The giant will fall. And you will enter your promised land. So long as you don't give up on day 40. Your 41 is coming.
Oh, wasn't it Jesus in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights?
There's footage that resurfaced from the Met Gala about someone from the royal family. What? Princess Beatrice. Okay. And people are saying she looks a little bit too much like a robot here. Almost like she's not real. You already know they have a lot of money, a lot of access to things that aren't accessible to regular people. Yeah. Theory is this was a test to see if we'd be comfortable with fake people in public. People are saying something is a bit off here.
This girl is still like healthy and living, right? But
Yes.
they just wanted to test. Oh, that's a robot.
Something
man.
going on, right?
No human.
She could be. It's not real.
Imagine she look at you like that at night.
This family had just moved into their new house when they came across something really strange in the closet. While the husband was unpacking, he noticed a tiny hole in the back wall. What made it even weirder was that you could actually see into some sort of space behind the wall. But according to the previous owner, there wasn't supposed to be anything there. Curious, he went back to check the paperwork on the house, and sure enough, the documents showed nothing behind that wall. So he told his wife he wanted to find out what was back there, grabbed an axe, and started breaking through. At first, his wife and daughter weren't so sure. They wondered if maybe the old owner had hidden it on purpose, and whether it was really a good idea to dig into it. But instead of backing off, that only made him more determined. After a while, it became clear there was some kind of hidden room behind the wall. That's when his wife completely freaked out and begged him to stop. She was terrified that they might stumble onto something awful, maybe evidence of a crime the previous owner had been hiding for years. She worried that if they kept going, it could turn into a nightmare for their whole family.
You put your kid first, dummy.
Enoch was the only man who walked with God and returned with secrets no human was meant to hear. The ancients said he ascended to heaven alive, carried by angels, and after several days returned with eyes burning from the visions he had witnessed. He spoke of things no one understood, of celestial beings, of wars between angels, and of the judgment that would come upon the earth. He warned of the flood long before Noah built his ark. It is said that he wrote forbidden books, texts, hidden away because they contained the secrets of heaven, the names of the fallen angels, and the very structure of the universe. Until one day, he did not return.
Enoch got dreads.
He was taken up and never again set foot on the earth. God did not allow him to die, because Enoch was no longer just a man. He had become the messenger of the unseen one who heard God face to face and lived to tell about it. If you believe in God, leave your amen in the comments.
What? Wasn't Prophet Elijah also taken by angels without dying to heaven?
Is happening this week. A man was beheaded at a Dallas motel and they just released all the details.
My goodness.
The person on the left is 50-year-old Chandra Nagamalaya, the manager of the motel, and the person on the right is 37-year-old Jordanis Cobos Martinez, who is a worker at the motel. This all happened Wednesday morning after Chandra told Jordanis not to use a broken washing machine while Jordanis and a woman were cleaning the room. Jordanis became so upset because Chandra didn't speak to him directly and relied on the woman to translate for him. Video then captures Jordanis leaving the motel room, getting a machete and repeatedly using it on Chandra. Screaming in pain, the manager flees to the front office, but Jordanis follows him and continues to cut him. And all of this is happening while the victim's wife and son are watching and try to stop the attacker, but he pushes them away and continues. He does this until he literally beheads the victim and then kicks that head into the parking lot and then puts it in a dumpster, and this is all caught on video. Officers then caught up to him and arrested him even though he was still armed. They said he was a Cuban national in ICE custody but was released after Cuba said they would not accept him because of his criminal history. He's currently being held without bond and is charged with capital murder, but rest in peace to his poor victim. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
The world needs Jesus right now.
Imagine going to watch the new Demon Slayer movie and the biggest battle isn't even on the screen. And he absolutely deserved it. In the middle of the movie, this man gets up, unzips his pants, and starts going to the bathroom on the kids right under him.
Oh my goodness.
Thunder breathing. 7-4. God of fire, thunder.
And I'm sorry, but serving up some knuckle sandwiches with a live anime soundtrack, it's perfect. Yeah, when I saw this, I knew I had to share it.
Okay, what is the reason he would do such a thing?
We have just witnessed the largest delegation ever of US lawmakers visiting Israel, and I almost guarantee you have not heard about it. 250 state legislators representing all 50 states arrived in Israel on Monday, and they attended an event at the foreign ministry titled 50 States, One Israel. On Tuesday, the lawmakers then took part in a ceremony where they planted 50 trees, one for each state, at one of the locations of the October 7th attacks. Netanyahu's office described it as the largest ever bipartisan delegation of American lawmakers to ever visit the Jewish state. Israel's foreign minister, Gideon Sa'ar, urged the lawmakers in attendance to pass anti-BDS laws in their states. BDS stands for Boycott, Divestment, and Sanction, and it is a movement started in 2005 by Palestinian activists. Anti-BDS laws are designed to make it difficult or discourage boycotts of Israel, and to date, 38 US states have adopted these laws, resolutions, or executive orders. Gideon Sa'ar said, "We are witnessing a coordinated global effort against Israel today, claiming that their enemies have turned to propaganda, political, legal, and economic warfare." He then said to the crowd of US lawmakers, the best answer against BDS until this day has been anti-BDS legislation by your states. But the timing of this trip couldn't be more controversial, not only because the day after they arrived, the United Nations Commission of Inquiry officially ruled for the first time that Israel are committing genocide against Palestinians in Gaza, but also because on the exact same day, Israel's highly condemned ground invasion into Gaza City officially began. And the reason I said I almost guarantee you haven't heard about this is because, to my genuine surprise, literally no major media publication is covering this apart from local news in Israel. And I mean, regardless of where you stand, is the largest delegation of US lawmakers to ever visit Israel not newsworthy?
Okay, as an Indonesian, I'm confused. Like, seriously, does Israel own the US or something?
Man trampled a memorial for Charlie Kirk at the Turning Point
That's
headquarters in
so
Phoenix. Our photographer on the
disrespectful.
scene says the man kicked over flowers, vases, and balloons. He was taken to the ground by an onlooker and then arrested for trespassing and destroying a community memorial. Phoenix police say the suspect is 19-year-old Ryder Corral. And then also an interesting observation, it appears that the man who trampled the memorial may have been wearing a similar shirt that the alleged assassin was wearing on the day of the shooting here in Utah. It appears there's a logo that has a United States flag and an eagle on it. So make of that what you...
Good job, the blue shirt guy.
What do you think about this Charlie Kirk situation? Do you believe that this individual was a professional shooter, considering your background?
I do not believe it was a professionally trained shot because at no point in my sniper training was I taught to aim for the neck. And a lot of people keep saying, oh, but it's because there was an angle. Angle only necessarily matters, at least from my training, at 30 degrees plus. From 200 yards on a second, third story building, let's call it a third story building, that's still like a, I don't know, 5-10 degree angle. I don't think it would impact. At 300 yards in the Marine Corps, I can literally say, do I want to hit the left nostril or the right nostril, right? At that short of a distance, let's call it 200 yards, it would only make about 1.5 inches high at about 200 yards. And that's if it was zeroed at 100 yards, right? If it was zeroed at 200, if they were trained professionally, they would have zeroed their rifle or at least gotten the data. I don't personally think they were professionally trained because of the first thing I said before I even analyzed angle or any of that was shot placement. This is not, I mean, it's viable in the sense of mortality, right? Or fatality, but it's not a viable shot in terms of immediate incapacitation, which is, I'm sure, is what they were trying to accomplish.
But what you're saying is if it was a professional sniper, given the distance, given the conditions, it's not gonna, the shot's not gonna pull from the incapacitation zone.
That's too far. This is too far. There's a video of the shooter in broad daylight on a rooftop. Whenever you set up a sniper position, a sniper hide, what's the most obvious spot that you're sniper? If you have no training,
you're silhouetting.
First thing you're gonna do is look for a rooftop, right? There was a spot under that was shaded. At the very least, be in the shade to have less of a profile. So if they were professionally trained,
they would understand their exposure.
Yeah, their exposure. They would have taken a window, shaded it, taken the shot from there, still had an escape route from there. And I also heard that a rifle has been recovered. In the Marine Corps, you call that target indicator, anything a sniper does or fails to do, which reveals yourself, position, or equipment to the enemy.
This guy would know. Marine snipers are legendary.
Documentary is absolutely devastating.
This is completely flawed.
I couldn't finish it in one sitting.
So he would change his clothes.
But it's a documentary that is bringing to light something that is rarely talked about. My name's Ricky, I love documentaries, and this is my wife, The Secret Footage. So this documentary was initially released here in the UK in 2024. The documentary centers around an incredibly brave man called Richard who endured 20 years of DV at the hands of his own wife. This woman spent years inflicting harm on her husband, Richard. It was physical, it was emotional, but it was also financial as well. And the things she did to him weren't small things. It was awful. It's awful. Now all of this was captured on secret hidden nanny cams that Richard had hidden all around the house, and these secret recordings were used as evidence against her, and this led to her being convicted and sent to prison for 4 years. It's a really well put together documentary. We see really candid interviews with Richard himself as well as other people involved in this case. We're shown the hidden camera footage, we're shown the audio recordings, we're shown photographs, everything that documented what this awful woman was doing to him. And the documentary really highlights this system of coercive and controlling behavior that often goes unrecognized in male victims. So like I said, I really struggled to watch this documentary because we're shown this real raw and unfiltered footage of these atrocities, and it creates a really disturbing and visceral viewing experience. And this documentary really challenges us as we watch it because it really tries to dismantle stereotypes. We don't often see DV in this kind of light. A man who is physically bigger than this woman being completely and utterly destroyed. And because of that, this documentary is unsettling on many different levels. The physical brutality and the emotional manipulation and just the sheer injustice of Richard's prolonged suffering is incredibly difficult to watch. The documentary goes out of its way to try and make us see the contrast between the way families like to present themselves to the outside world and, you know, these secret hidden parts of their lives. But it also has a message of hope and optimism in it. Richard himself is incredibly brave. There seems to be this kind of taboo or stigmatism attached to men who go through this. And for him to come out so publicly and tell his story this way, in such a vulnerable way, is incredibly brave and should fill you full of hope. And for Richard, it would have been incredibly difficult to come forward with this story. This documentary and Richard's story could help other men come forward who are going through these things, because it is well understood that many of these cases are just unreported. Men are too afraid to come forward with their own stories. Men are less likely to report these types of things happening to them. For many reasons, social stigma, not being believed, or not being taken seriously. And society often assumes that men can't be victims just because they're men. And therefore, male victims are reluctant to come forward. That's why this documentary is so powerful. That's why this documentary is so important. It is an incredibly difficult documentary to get through for sure, but it is an important documentary and one that is well worth your time. But if you are somebody who has gone through something similar, this may be a documentary you might not be able to get through right now. And look, I know I'm just some guy who talks about horror movies and documentaries online, but if this is happening to you, there are people out there who can help you.
I think it's still on Netflix. Check it out. My wife, my abuser, captured on camera.
When you meet someone, there is an energetic balance between your two energies. If you are on a very high frequency and they are on a very low frequency, your frequency will decrease while their frequency will increase to meet and balance out in the middle. Therefore, you need to be very careful with who you keep in your surroundings, because these energy fields are not just energy fields. They are external manifestations and energy presences of their consciousness. Your field contains your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your traumas. Everything inside your consciousness is manifesting externally in energy inside of a toroidal shape. Therefore, when you are around people, you can feel drained because they are quite literally draining your frequency and energy. Be very careful with who you keep in your surroundings, because their thoughts, beliefs, emotions, traumas can rub off and infect your heart and mind.
Are y'all seeing all of this? We literally woke up in hell today. Mass casualties everywhere, governments falling down, and doomsday radio is going off right after the eclipse. And one guy, the leader of one country, said the most damning statement we have ever heard yet. I knew something was up last night. Told you I didn't feel like recording, but I had to. Oh yeah, and they're threatening to burn down a cathedral in France. And if you don't think this has to do with the eclipse, you're fooling yourself. This is what I said last night. Is WAR coming? So let's start right here. I gotta block it out for social media. So 15 Nepal teenagers have been unalive so far after they tried to storm the Capitol and officers started firing into the crowds. I'm telling you, like a gate to hell literally opened up with that eclipse. Because 4 or 5 mass casualties all at the same time. Okay, now right after the lunar eclipse, a Russian doomsday signal starts releasing cryptic messages. Really? Now in Israel, there was what they call 2 Palestinians that unloaded on a bus full of Israelis. So far, unaliving 5, critically wounding 7. And then Netanyahu comes out and says, y'all better evacuate Gaza right this minute. But this was Gaza this morning. They've been bombing Gaza all day yesterday and today. Now don't get mad at me. I'm literally just reporting to you facts on both sides of the aisle. And while this is going on, what you're seeing behind me is the biggest Palestinian protest we've ever seen happening in Mexico right now.
Mexico.
Remember, Mexico's mad at the U.S. because all the things happening between us and Venezuela. And now relating to that, Maduro is equipping every citizen he says with weapons. They said the U.S. will never storm Venezuela. Completely unrelated, 1000%. Literally, come on guys. Don't forget I showed you this in an older video. New deals, new licenses, a whole lot of oil. But again, that's unrelated, just telling you guys stuff. And of course, in France, these guys are threatening to burn down the Notre Dame Cathedral. Their demand is the French government release their homeboy. There's also been 3 major floods and major earthquakes since the eclipse. Now, I can't say this part word for word, it's the biggest part, but the leader of the US came out and said that all of something, he posted on Truth Social, all of something is poison. All of something, huh?
What?
He didn't say something, he's posting about something. Maybe a little pig Latin. Maybe something that has to do with little Edel. Figure it out. Let me know what I missed.
Been struck. TikTok will no longer be on our phones from September of this year through March of 2026. They're going to be replacing it with a new version of the American TikTok app, and it's going to be called M. M is short for Meta. Oracle and a few other billionaires will be the new owners of TikTok. Here are the 2 things that is going to be coming along with that. You will no longer be able to see what's going on in the rest of the world because it destroys the government's narrative. And the U.S. government will now have full access to all of your data on TikTok, which is, if it's 130 million of us users here in the United States, that's a $3 billion a year sale of your data. That's what it's all about. Controlling the narrative for world views and your data. Don't get it twisted. It has nothing to do with national security. It has nothing to do with anything more than controlling the money and controlling the narrative.
Red Note, here we come again.
After the interstellar object 3I Atlas entered our solar system, scientists have been racing to collect every bit of data about it. So far, they've discovered that this mysterious visitor is moving at an incredible speed of 61 kilometers per second relative to the Sun, making it the fastest natural object ever observed in our solar system. It is broadly believed that this object is a comet that has come to us from outside the solar system and has recently begun to change shape. Its tail has grown longer and its coma, a large atmosphere of gas and dust that surrounds its nucleus, has become more pronounced. Well, these are expected characteristics from a comet ripping by the Sun at ludicrous speeds, but scientists have recently discovered something worrying that has shocked everyone. In the latest twist this week, comet hunter Michael Yeager and his colleagues took advantage of the total lunar eclipse to take a deep image of comet 3I Atlas under the dark skies of Namibia. Their observations showed that the object's coma has now transitioned from giving off red light to green. When 3I Atlas was first discovered, it had a reddish glow.
Okay.
So they would get together with their family and friends, and they would only eat with silver, gold and copper. They'd also get out special glassware because of its benefits. And the reason they would all use silverware and copper to eat is because silverware and copper is highly conductive. So when the cutlery would touch the food, it would conduct energy to the food. And if you think about food, it has high conductivity. And the silverware and copper and even gold was enhancing that. So if you think you use something like iron or stainless steel or plastic, the magnetism from that steel will actually pull energy out of the food. That is why most of your cutlery is made from stainless steel and iron, because they don't have the beneficial benefits that copper and silverware once had. And this is why people would eat with copper, gold and even brass sometimes, because it would increase the electrical conductivity when they ate the food, increasing the benefits of the food. So if you think of brass, copper and zinc, these actually make up holy water. And so you've been sold the idea that aluminium and coated pans are safe, and the fact that all of your cutlery is stainless steel or aluminium. But these have no benefits because we used to use copper, gold and silverware, as these materials would increase the power that the food had on the body, and the positive benefits came from it as well. Also think of copper cutlery. Since copper is antibacterial, They wouldn't need to wash their cutlery because of the properties of copper and brass. And finally, it was adding minerals into their food as well. When the copper would touch the food and the brass, it was adding essential minerals into people's foods.
Bummer, people can't afford this anymore.
Why couldn't the Archangel Michael defeat Leviathan? Michael is the commander of God's heavenly army, the one who fought Satan, cast him out of heaven. But there was one creature even Michael could not conquer, Leviathan. Job describes him with these words.
Who dares to seize Leviathan? His breath sparks flames and his mouth unleashes a torrent of fire.
A creature no force can subdue, created by the hand of God to reveal his power and judgment. Revelation 12 shows Michael defeating the dragon, Satan. But Psalm 74 reminds us, it was God alone who crushed Leviathan. The message is clear. Leviathan was never meant to fall by an angel's hand, but to show that only God has the ultimate authority. If you believe only God has the power to defeat Leviathan, type Amen in the comments. Stay tuned for more stories from The Secrets of the Bible AI.
Michael and Leviathan never clash. Oh man. I can't. Poor tiger. Six gunshot. Ooh, 15 years. Even tigers aren't safe now.
Have you noticed Michelle Lamy's strangely swollen belly? No one realized that she had made 3 sacrifices to become famous. Number 1, Michelle has been transforming her body for years. Her fingertips have turned a dark purplish black, and she's drawn strange vertical lines on her forehead. She also often covers her shoulders with towering accessories. That sparked wild speculation about her identity. Some even think the 81-year-old might be pregnant again, but more likely, it's just a calculated move to grab attention. Number 2, Michelle has endured constant ridicule. Many people can't handle her eccentric fashion. Some have even called her a crazy woman. But her husband, Rick Owens, insists on calling Michelle his muse. Even when they were kicked out of China's Forbidden City, Rick never once questioned her outfit. Maybe that kind of love is what keeps Michelle going. Number 3, Michelle always makes it a point to take photos with celebrities. Even if they barely know her, she still walks up with a friendly smile and says hello. You can spot Michelle at just about any Fashion Week event. In interviews, she admits she's often the target of insults and criticism, but she's never afraid. After all, she's been boxing for 35 years. Could you embrace Michelle Lamy's fashion style?
Nope.
Did y'all see drama queen Stephen King? Well, video he made. Notice what he's wearing right there on his chest, too. Watch this.
King here, reminding you it's Sunday, but there's still time for you to walk to your nearest movie theater and see The Long Walk.
What?
Okay? Do it.
And he's under mega fire right now because he was talking a lot of junk about Mr. Charlie Kirk for no reason. Just like all the other crazies, you know what I'm saying? I was wrong and he's literally been apologizing like every 5 seconds, it seems like. That he abdicated for stoning gays to death, just saying. Obviously, he never did that. We all know Charlie Kirk was a man of God and he did not do that. Check this out.
Molly, the King of Evil, reminding you to go see The Long Walk this weekend. It's opening.
Check out these comments. Look, that poor dog, yada, yada, yada. That poor dog. Look at the top. Read these comments, man. This is absolutely... I'd like an answer. When did Charlie Kirk promote this?
Stephen King made a life from books about demons. He is now turning into one.
Hey guys! We're going to be showing you the shrinking mill today in Port Colborne, and this is a mystery in Canada, Ontario that no one really knows how it works, so let's go. So just keep your eye on that big building back there and watch the size of it as we get closer and closer.
Okay, see the building. That's the building back there right in the front of the street.
Now normally when you drive closer to something, wouldn't you think it gets bigger?
That's what she said. I'm sorry.
But in this case, it shrinks, hence the word the shrinking mill. But watch as you get super duper close. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Look how small it is. And we were all the way back.
This is where Christopher Nolan got Inception from. I'm positive. What kind of shit is this?
It's called the parallax effect.
story of Gilgamesh. The story talks about how he was 2/3 God and 1/3 man. And the claim was that he was 17 feet tall. The story goes that he was buried under the Euphrates River. In 2003, archaeologist by the name of York Fassbinder, what he said is, I have found the tomb of Gilgamesh. But it's underground, right? So they have to like dig it up. And so they start the process of digging it up. Guess what happened 1 month later? The U.S. invades Iraq.
No way!
The U.S. invaded Iraq 1 month later after the discovery. All the archaeological sites were then stopped in Iraq, and the U.S. military set up an encampment around the tomb site. They kicked out all the scientists. The locals around this encampment reported that the U.S. military were digging at night, taking things out of the ground, and putting them onto trucks and driving them off.
The true weapon of mass destruction, possibly ancient super weapons,
was water.
It was water.
How could that be? They were already underwater. But it was right there in front of their very eyes. What appeared to be an underwater lake at the bottom of the ocean, encircled by a beach, with gentle, slow-motion waves lapping against the shore. Only a handful of humans have ever seen this sight in person. And we now know something that makes it even more eerie. Any creature who dares to venture below the surface of that strange water never comes back. The earliest reference to an underwater lake dates back to the 1st of March, 1964. And it's a tiny article, barely taking up a quarter of a page, buried deep in a scientific journal. The author, a humble English oceanographer called Henry Sharnock, had found what he called anomalous bottom water, 2 kilometers under the Red Sea.
So there's a portals to the worlds below?
Ready for this? You're not ready for this because I wasn't ready for this.
All right, what is
this? Is a normal water cymatic like this guy here, but do you see what shape it's making? The frequency is making a moving double helix. No, this is way more interesting than you think. You can make the molecular bond symmetry with a cymatic pattern. The geometry of a frequency can organize matter like the oil in the water here, so every type of DNA can be expressed using a cymatic glyph. So you can clearly see where the oil sits in those little nodes there. If you look closer, you'll see the lines that trace the cymatic pattern. They're created by these LEDs that are fixed to the end of a camera when they take the picture. You see the light bending over the pattern of the water, but if you change the color of the LEDs, the frequency literally weaves the light together into the entire pattern. This is crazy because researchers have acoustically shaped DNA to create programmable materials. All they used was piezoelectricity and sound. Scale that up to a cell. If you read the resonance of a cell using a cymoscope, its health is determined by its symmetry. If something's wrong, the shapes are off. Plants. Not only do flowers mirror cymatic patterns, gene expression and water are 2 of the biggest factors in the symmetry of the flower. There's a ton of research on music and frequency affecting plant growth. And as you can see here, the water carries the frequency. Craziest thing about this whole video, go to the description of this video. It says that frequency is 528 hertz. That's the same frequency in this experiment. It's like the biology is crystallizing the form of the cymatic in matter. And depending on how well the DNA resonates will determine how perfect the form is expressed. Research on this is still in its infancy, obviously. Would that not be the most insane thing ever to simulate a pattern and then see how it's expressed in a turtle shell or in a cheetah's fur? Could we change it? Is the reason why we see these patterns so much in ancient architecture because their science developed along this type of a path. It's literally the Wild West right now. It's open for discovery. But that's why I'm addicted to showing you this stuff. Ready to go a little deeper? I made a 20-minute video covering the history, science, mechanics, application of cymatics along with my latest research. 60% off for this week because I need a haircut. Until we cymatically figure out how to do that.
This is super awesome. What is it? What is that? is it, man? Oh.
So it turns out Warren Buffett was right the whole time. Who would have thought the greatest investor of all time would have nailed this, right? So he's been sitting on over $300 billion of cash for quite some time now. He's been selling Apple stock, which now is down 30% from all-time highs. And he's in a bunch of energy stocks, defensive stocks. You guys know this, right? Banks and all these stocks.
So he now has shocking new study claims. Media outlets seized on the possible hostile label, warning that November could bring humanity's first contact or first confrontation with extraterrestrial intelligence. Sub-headlines are already framing it as an alien invasion countdown. But on the flip side of this, Jeremy Corbell, a well-known filmmaker and investigator of government UFO secrecy, said that the government's story on this is nothing short of a big lie. Let's go ahead and check this out. He's awesome.
So UFOs are real, and they've been here a long time.
Good way to start.
And that's the truth. But the lie is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that that lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us.
Okay.
We have an.
Why is NASA panicking when they sent out invitation many times in the past?
Exercise called Get Quiet at CIA. And in a Get Quiet exercise, all you do is just get quiet. You stop overwhelming your sensatory organs, your eyes, your ears, your feelings, your taste buds. You get yourself into a place where your sensory organs can take a break. Because what happens when you don't overload your sensory organs is your brain starts to index. And when your brain starts to index, it gives you a higher level of awareness, a higher level of observational skills. Especially before you go into an area where you want to make observations, you want to quiet your sensory organs so that you can go in with fresh sensory organs. It's kind of like cleaning your palate before you try a certain ice cream. The reason that we do that is because we want to gain as much perspective information as possible so that we have the informational advantage going into any situation.
It's called meditation. You're welcome.
So Starbucks has now come under serious backlash from some customers. The reason being is because they're refusing to write the name Charlie Kirk on customers' cups. So there's a video that's since gone viral of a customer going into their local Starbucks. They put their order in, and then when the barista asks, "What name would you like on the cup?" they say Charlie Kirk. The barista then turns around and says, "The computer will not print that."
What?
So then she says, "Well, can you write it?" And that's where things got really concerning. As a matter of fact, take a look at the video.
Perfect. What else today?
That's it.
Perfect. What was the name for the order? Or actually, we need a name.
The name is Charlie Kirk.
We can't do political names, but it didn't even ask for a name to begin with, so it's going to be $3.75, okay?
Oh, but can you write the name on the cup?
The sticker won't print.
Oh, you can't write on that?
I could, but I could write Charlie.
Why can't you write the whole name?
Because it's political.
Political?
Yes, yeah. Let me start here. Okay?
So basically, she's telling her she can't write the name Charlie Kirk on her cup because it's too political. This is a photo of someone that actually just wrote it out themselves. And she's also confirming that the computer system has wiped out the name Charlie Kirk completely so that it's unable to print it at all. Now that video that you just watched set off a backlash, a major backlash against Starbucks, with people taking to social media using the hashtag boycott Starbucks. That is now trending everywhere. People have posted that even some baristas, after you ask for them to put the name Charlie Kirk on your cup, are giving you the cup with the word loser on it. So the question is, with all this going on now with Starbucks, is this some form of censorship on their behalf? Have you tried to go and honor Charlie Kirk by ordering his favorite drink from Starbucks and asking for his name on the cup? And were you given a problem, or did they just do it for you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you have been able to get the cup with the name Charlie Kirk as a sticker, please post your photos in the comment section. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Start supporting your local coffee shops, folks.
This is seriously one of the best UFO videos of all time. Not only is the footage really clear, but the reactions of the spectators are really convincing. They're all freaking out, gathered around filming the strange craft. Take a look.
So
That is crazy.
Are you for real?
It's a UFO for real. I promise y'all.
I promise y'all.
Look, we got all these people. This the street light. That ain't no street light.
It's a street light. It's a parking light.
The brand new video was taken on June 9th, 2025, and it comes from Dallas, Texas.
It looks
We
like
see
a
what looks like a
parking lot.
flying saucer in the sky with a long beam of light below it.
Oh, I don't know.
The bluish
Ooh.
colored light beam stretches all the way down to the ground. And the craft itself is covered in lights along the bottom.
Go over there. Check it
This
out.
spectacle caused excitement and chaos within the group, with them trying to wrap their heads around what they're seeing. Seeing a UFO in real life this clear and this close really has to make you question everything. Especially if you didn't believe before. So all this being said, is the new video I just showed credible as well? I think it has potential to be one of the greatest UFO videos in history. Let me know what you all think in the comments down below.
Yep.
Here's how you know that someone is strong. Like a truly strong person. Strong-willed, strength of character. And this goes back to a simple rule, a moral maxim articulated by St. Francis of Assisi. He writes, "There is nothing so strong as gentleness, and nothing so gentle as true strength." And what he meant is that the strongest people are gentle giants. They're calm, poised, measured, and controlled. But a weak person is out of control. They're loud, they're aggressive, they're unpredictable. In fact, true strength means that you control yourself so well that you can actually take care of other people. But a weak person tries to make other people feel small. It's the only way they can feel big. And so to be a truly strong person isn't just about physical strength, but it's also about the strength of your convictions. It's about your moral character, being strong on the inside and out. That is true strength.
A strong person never spends time telling everyone how strong they are.
What book do you gift the most or that contributed most to the mindset you have today?
The Inward Journey by Dr. Howard Thurman, The Man Who Tapped the Secrets of the Universe.
Ooh.
Glenn Clark is the author. Walter Russell. And the other book is The Man Who Talked with Flowers. It's about the life of George Washington Carver. Those three books are very powerful.
Is there a unifying theme across them or are they different for each book?
It's a unifying theme. Walter Russell was the greatest mystic that ever emerged out of America. This is the book about him. When you read the book about him, then you'll go to his own books. But it showed him as a young child growing into adulthood. He invented the duplex. He was a multimillionaire. He raised Arabian horses. He was an ice skating champion at 67 years old. He's a great mystic. He taught these metaphysical principles. He added elements to the empirical chart without any formal education. He had a cosmic consciousness opening. He saved my life because when I got opened years ago, I thought I was going crazy. And when I studied his work, I realized what was happening. George Washington Carver, many people think he was a scientist. He was a mystic. He woke up every day at 4 o'clock in the morning. He asked nature, "What are you good for?" His famous quote was, "If you fall in love with anything sincerely, it will reveal its secrets to you." He'd fall in love with nature, and she would tell him everything. Then he'd go into his laboratory and prove it. And then Howard Thurman, pure mysticism. He was able to bring light into dark areas of one's life.
This is a good recommendation, folks.
Okay guys, some pretty major developments happening overnight. After over 20 years of hosting the late night show, Jimmy Kimmel has just been cancelled for comments that he made about Charlie Kirk. In fact, it was just hours before he was about to go on air, he was told that ABC indefinitely suspended the show. And while we haven't heard his thoughts directly from him, sources have told the Daily Mail that he is absolutely furious and that they've never seen him this angry. In fact, they go as far as saying that he is actively looking for ways to get out of his contract and break relations with ABC forever. But here's what's crazy. He has been doing this show since 2003. And also, this is a talk show, and they've made thousands of jokes over the years pushing the line through multiple administrations. So for this all to be coming to an end over comments that he made about Charlie Kirk signals something majorly significant. Now, how you perceive that significance is for you to decide. Trump has celebrated it. He thinks it's a good thing. He says that it's a win for America. And he said that Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers should be next, while others are calling it an attack on free speech. But no matter what happens, I think, people like Fallon, they've been around for too long. They're too big to just get rid of overnight. In fact, we had something pretty similar over here in the UK with Piers Morgan after he left Good Morning Britain over comments that he made. But a few months later, he signed a £50 million deal for only 3 years, and now he's crushing it on YouTube, probably getting more views than he ever has before. Point is, yes, this is significant, but I don't think it's the last that we're going to be hearing from Fallon.
Free speech is one thing, hateful, spiteful speech is different.
Notice that celebrities are transforming?
Watch this. Why my video of celebrity hands went viral?
Why is that?
It's because I'm right. It's because majority of the population know that this is absolutely abnormal.
Not normal, y'all.
Transformation is just from weight loss, guys. Come on.
Definitely not.
So.
Something else is going on.
Aunts and uncles and grandparents and great-grandparents and sisters and moms and me. We all age. My hands have never changed. This isn't...
It looks like a chicken foot.
What the heck? And a lot of you also mentioned age. I mean, let's be honest. How much could Hailey Bieber have possibly aged between this picture and...
She's not that old.
And this picture. Let's be honest. And I'm not talking about fingernails. I'm talking about the joints of the fingers.
Look at the fingers.
Ow. She has extremely long fingers.
She didn't used to.
Same with Cynthia Erivo. You're telling
normal
me
hands in this
Wicked,
picture.
Her and her hands look like this, completely normal.
Yeah,
and then
watch
all
this.
of a sudden, we're seeing this.
Those are not human
You
hands.
guys, this is very inhuman. This is otherworldly. This is not anything I have ever seen before.
No.
Totally bizarre. What is going on?
They look like demon hands.
No. I'm showing you actresses who haven't lost a ton of weight. I'm showing you actresses who haven't aged 2 decades.
What is going
Yet
on
many
with
of their
celebrities,
hands
y'all?
look like this. Call me crazy all you want, but I'm telling you right now.
Stay weird.
This is absolute insanity, and it's not normal.
They're all gone. You're seeing their AI version.
But you don't have to manipulate events and people to come out the way you want. You just let that go. And when something does happen, well, a hurdle pops up in front of you, it's okay. You just deal with it however you can, and you just go on. You accept it. You don't get upset with it. Oh no, I didn't want that. It just happens and you go on. Well, your life becomes magic. And the other end of this is a thing they call synchronicity, which is where things just happen just as you need them, just when you want them. And you go from nothing ever happens to me. I don't have any synchronicity. The only things that are synchronicity to me are the things that get in my way. I got new hurdles to get over. But you'll go to that to just the opposite. There are no hurdles anymore. Everything just works well. And I got to that point, I don't know, sometime probably in the late 20s, early 30s, where I realized that when you don't try to control anything, you don't have to control anything. It all just works out.
I like that. I realized that nothing good comes from stressing. That causes additional problem.
This video should terrify you. Homie standing in the elevator, and for some reason, this dude comes and puts on a helmet. She does too. But then, another dude comes in, and he puts on the helmet. Now, you'd assume this gentleman's of reasonable intelligence, but he sees what they're doing, then look what his ass does. Looking confused as hell, he puts on the helmet as well. Now, the reason why this video should scare you is that the majority of people, 99% of people, make their decisions just like this dude. They look around and they see what everybody else is doing, and then they do it. And the truth is, most people don't even know what the they're doing. So there's 2 major lessons you could get from this footage. 1, Be careful about who you're around because you're gonna end up doing what they're doing. And 2, the smartest thing you can do is think for yourself, or you end up doing stupid shit like this dude right here.
Well, if a group of people is running from something and you don't know from what, it would be smart to follow them. But on his case, I would ask, what's going on?